Hey, welcome to the stream. Just start sending out notifications because no one knows that I'm live, and I will be with you shortly. Bear with me 2 moments, guys. If you're joining us, I'm just going to send out some normal notifications, and then I will be with you. Hi, I hope you're doing well. How's everyone doing? How has how's your weekend been? How's your weekend been? How's everyone doing? Hello, welcome. Give me 2 moments. I'm just sending out notifications and then we'll begin. Hope everyone is doing very well. Give me 2 seconds. So we've got a new tarot deck today, gifted to the channel by the lovely Michelle. Is actually, I used it in the Gemini reading. If you didn't see the Gemini reading, then you'll be seeing it today. We've also got a couple of other bits and pieces that are new as well. Gail, hi. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is well with you. I'm just going to send it out to a few more bits and pieces and then we'll get started. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the likes. Just going to send it to the 15 million groups that I've got to share it to. And then we'll begin. Then we'll get going. Apologies for the lateness. I think because of the time difference, some people are going to forget that. Because obviously we are now 4 hours difference as opposed to 5 for the Eastern Standard Time. Hello, Kelly. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here. Because of the clocks in England, the clocks went forward an hour on Sunday at 2 a.m. So the timing differences are a little bit different here. Hello, Karen. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Brittany. Hope you're doing very well. Just going to send it to the last group and then we'll begin. How's everyone doing? How was your weekend? Everyone doing well? My eyelashes look awful, but you know, we're here. quick getting ready. Nope, I've already sent it there. How's everyone getting on? How's your weekends? Right, let's see. We've got 11 viewers and 2 likes. Thank you so much for your likes, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me just sort this eyelash out here. Let me just be vain for a couple of moments. My guys get really annoyed when I say that. They're like, for goodness sake. They get so super annoyed. Right, let's jump into the blue Messiah deck, courtesy of the lovely LK. Extremely emotional, staying in the now, resting, self-care. Yeah, we're in a Pisces moon at the moment, so I've just been sat holding back tears as well. We're in our feels, guys, and can I just FYI you, we're about to go into Aries moon, then we're in a Taurus moon, and then we have the full moon on the 31st, which just buckle up for that. There's always good news here, isn't there? Does anyone else feel like they woke up and 4 weeks must have passed because the reality doesn't match what you felt? Has anyone else had that? Hello, Egyptian warrior. So I've already bought 2 new decks. But I'm always open to recommendations. We had the Oracle of the Divine, the Radiant Sun, and now we've got the new Moon Oracle deck from the same creators. That's just arrived. And we've also got the silver the silver witchcraft tarot that has just arrived as well. But because we haven't used the vice versa deck, we're going to use that. I kept having waves of tears and emotions all weekend. I've been feeling really down, doing nothing but crying. I don't know why. Yeah, we're in a Pisces moon. It's we're in a double moon. We're in a double water energy. So Scorpio sun, Pisces moon it's just there's so this is how I feel it, right? Either it's going to be so emotional you don't feel anything, or you're feeling emotional. But I felt like yesterday I woke up and the reality didn't match what I thought I was going to see. And that really annoyed me. Don't know if you've ever done this, but you wake up and you think, did I miss a week? Because the reality is not matching me here with what I'm thinking. These eyelashes drive me mad. I need to get new eyelashes. Awful. Look at the state of these eyelashes, mum. Yeah, so as I say, I'm just I'm actually deliberately taking this weekend off. Deliberately taking the 31st and the 1st off. Although this is a heads up for people. If you don't, I'm going to be really honest with you. If you want to book in advance, I'm going to start making it cheaper for people, because people are getting really annoyed with me. I've actually had to cancel someone because they couldn't get anything with me appointment wise for 2 weeks. But you've got to remember, sometimes it's not good to get into that energy of needing a reading, because is that healthy? But I've had to cancel someone because they didn't want to wait 2 weeks. So just be aware, if you're booking a reading, to asking for tomorrow or to later tonight, I'm going to be, to be honest with you, I do keep emergency appointments free, but then there isn't going to be a whole lot of sort of choice in that, the timings. Otherwise, I'm not going to sleep. And I've already tried to book in with a personal trainer this week who's had a go at me for not spending more time on myself. And I'm like, listen, mate, my emails are out of control. What do you want me to do? So I had a huge argument with a personal trainer who was telling me that I need to put more time into myself. And I was like, listen, I do an hour meditation a day. Like, I spend an hour getting ready in the morning. I spend an hour meditating. No worries, Mia. Oh, really, Charity? Well, hopefully it helped. I'm glad. I hope it helped. The magnetic liner ones are amazing. Brittany, let me just fill you in. I bought the magnetic liner ones. Within an hour, they will fall off me. I will FYI you. I've tried the magnetic ones. They are, unless I pause what I'm doing for an hour and just keep reapplying the magnetic top liner, it's not going to, yes, really. Trust me. Next time I go live, I'll show you and you can physically witness them falling off my face. If you want me to show you, no worries about that. But yeah, these lashes are my backup lashes because I couldn't find my other ones, and they're absolutely horrific. I think they misprinted them. Make sure your liner width is big enough for the magnets, Brittany. Trust me when I'm telling you this. They are more than big enough for the. I'm no noob when it comes to these things. They are more than wide enough for the lashes. They just are crap. That's, I don't know what else to say to you. I've tried primer. I've tried fixing spray. I've tried every variation and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But you've got to remember, everyone's skin tone is different. And I've got kind of a combination of skin. So it could be that the skin texture is different. Well, you look lovely. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, guys, let's jump into the message. 21 viewers, 11 likes. It helps so much. You're my absolute favourite guide. Oh, thanks, Charity. That's really sweet. You've cheered me up. I'm not going to lie. You've cheered me up now. Elena Stanwyck, lol, lol, lol. Some big Pisces feelings about the liners. Oh, yeah. In it, you can't cry. You can't. You got to make sure you got, like, I feel like I need cement on my face right now because I'm like I'm really in my feels today. I'm really in my feels today, big style. Because my moon's in 12th house in Scorpio, so both aspects are hitting my chart. So my moon is like da-da. Right, guys, 22 views, 12 likes. Let's jump in. Yeah, someone wanted me to book them in at 9 p.m. for an emergency reading, and it's 8:20. So that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. We can do it afterwards, but you may have to wait for my shopping to be delivered because I need to eat as well. Oh, look, how ironic. We've been talking about magnetic eyelashes. Magnetism. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Rebecca. Hope you're doing well. Can I just say that's an interesting illustration right there. Magnetism. How do we want to, how are we going to analyze this picture right here? Sorry, I can't. This is, you've been better. Oh, Rebecca, I know, right? I feel like I'm on this, like a roller coaster. The width is wide on the card. I mean, it looks like a freaking bowling pin, but yeah. The width is very wide. Why does it look like a thin fingerprint in the middle? The width is very wide, I'm not going to lie. What's it? I want to learn about houses, charts, and all that jazz. I thought you said something else then, the last word. I want to learn about houses, charts, and all that jazz. So I wouldn't class myself as an astrologer, because I think the astrologers would probably whoop my backside if I said that, because they take their craft very seriously. But I would call myself an intuitive astrologer. So I will map someone's chart and I will see where that's taking someone. That I can do. Hope you're well, Rebecca. I'm just oh, I've got to tell you something. So my website's not running just yet. I've seemed to have annoyed several Pakistani young men to the point where they said to me, do not ever contact us again. Because the website was basically not happening. And as you know, Mercury in retrograde, I tried to not let that happen. And I realized very quickly on that it's Mercury in retrograde and that this is just pointless. And I think I need to just admit defeat here. And so I cancelled the website. So I'm going to wait until after the Mercury retrograde goes direct on the 3rd and get that sorted again. Because listen, I could just tell that they'd over egged what they could do. And I'm just like, mate, you know I'm psychic, right? And he was like, you know when you can just tell someone's trying to sell you the big one? And I was like, yeah, I'll invest in that. And then it kind of dawned on me very quickly that they didn't know what they were doing. And so we are putting that on hold, which means I'm manually writing all my emails and stuff. So guys, if you're waiting for an email from me, I'm sorry. Just to give you a heads up, I usually answer my emails very early in the morning or very late at night. So if you're waiting, that's why. I'm sorry that happened for you. It's inevitable. It's Mercury in retrograde. They didn't want me doing that. The guys didn't want me doing that. They want me to focus on my fitness. So I messaged a personal trainer instead and ended up having an argument with him. You're a web developer, are you? Are you a web designer and a web developer? And if you are, message me and we will discuss that. But I will give you an FYI. I will not be proceeding until after the 3rd because I'm learning my lesson. Yeah, get this. The personal trainer was like, you know, you need to calm down a bit, don't you? And I was like, I thought motivation was a good thing. And he was like, yeah, but you're a bit too, you're not very chill, are you? And I'm like, I'm confused. Am I not meant to be motivated in this, or what is the deal? I think I triggered him a little bit. So I'm gonna just not organize anything because clearly there's major Mercury retrograde situation going on here where I'm triggering people. So I was like, okay, because he even messaged me back saying, just a future reference when you discuss with a personal trainer, you need to calm down a little bit. And I was like, wow, this must be bad. If someone's, because he was like telling me all these accolades. And I was like, wow, I must really come across as some kind of nightmare. So I was like reading the messages back thinking, is that really that bad? But I don't know. Maybe I caught him on a bad day. I don't know. I can't work it out. So I'm just like, whatever. I wasn't rude. I didn't sort of swear at him or anything, but maybe he was having a bad day. Magnetism. Why do I hear opposites attract when I'm looking at this card? I mean, obviously, we're trying to default past the obvious on this card. Why do I feel like opposites attract? I thought it was just me. A friend had to nurse for a few hours this past weekend. I couldn't hold back the tears. Oh, no, it's not just you. It's not just you, girl. Oh my, I know, I know. We'll connect next week, website, yeah, for sure. But just I want to discuss with you before we do that, because I want to make sure that I want to see what you're up to. Let's talk before that, ideally. Because I want to know if, because trust me, I've spoken to so many people and they promise me all these things, and then I'm like, so you can't do it then. They're like, well, we can, but we're gonna need someone else to come in, and I'm just like, so you can't do it then. Anyway, this is what I want to say. We've got magnetism here, okay, and then we've got on the bottom of the deck virtual fog. There's a feeling in the air that you're being pulled into things, you're being drawn into something, but there's a confusion around what and possibly who it is, okay? Because this Pisces energy, I think, is actually conjunct Neptune, which is still in retrograde until the end of November, which is causing, I think, a lot, because you've got to remember, Scorpio energy is very much in the underworld type energy, and then you've got Pisces that is also very deep. So there's a lot of confusion and illusion is what I want to say. It's like you have to be, because I feel like even the senses, people are questioning the senses at the moment. They're showing me about these numbers. That's a 7 and that's a 9. No, that's an 8 and that's a 9. So if you're you're in confused, no promises. So if you're in confused energy at the moment, because we've got, this is a number 8 card, because they were showing me the numbers here and they said, look at the numbers. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 35. So again, virtual fog, where someone's not looking at something deliberately. This is denial, right? But then you've got the number 9 card here, which is magnetism. So even if you're not 100% sure of what you're heading to, you're being led here. You're being led, right? Now, can you see here, she's green, she's lit up in her green, and then you've got the blue, which is the 9 card. So we're going from this kind of heart center to the throat center here, the green heart chakra, the blue throat chakra, which is it, you know, if you're looking at how this works, you be very clear to stay in this compassionate, unconditional love energy. Because I'm going to be real honest with you, I'm definitely defaulting out of that right now. You know, when you get to the point where you're overwhelmed with emotions and you start defaulting out of not being emotional because you're just like, this is too much, let me cut myself off. Be careful you're not doing that, because I've already done it in the last day. Be very aware to not cut your feelings off at this point in time, because there's going to be there's something of value you're going to learn. And again, we've got the false god card, so it's talking about ego here, which is totally relatable for me. Look at this. We've got the starseed card. Starseed card here. Now, if you don't know what a starseed is, I'm joking when I'm laughing like that. So let me, because I feel like there's going to be people here that don't. Starseed, do you feel different? Do you feel like you don't fit in? Do you feel like your path hasn't been discovered? Maybe you haven't got onto your path yet, and maybe people that don't understand you, you feel that, you know, is impossible to try and figure out. Maybe your family as well don't understand you. You feel like you're connected to something, but you can't articulate what that is. There's an otherworldly knowing. You've probably got very high extrasensory perception, very strong ability. But again, there's an underlying energy here, but you can't quite pinpoint it. Hello, Quintine. I hope you're doing well. This could be that you're a starseed energy. Now, it's interesting because we've got the magnetism and the virtual fog. I'm feeling down about my weight and skin is out of sorts, so I'm feeling not worthy. Focus on something that you are confident about. Focus on something that you know you do have confidence about. I've been held back so long. I had a tough time creating change, moving forward. Current situation is toxic. 8 years. 8 years. That's usually a strong tipping point. 8 years. There's something about 8 year cycle that I always find happens. I think it's got something to do with Saturn. I don't know why I want to say that, but I do. is it Jupiter or Saturn? They're saying Jupiter. So you could be drawn into something here, but you're maybe not too sure what. If you're a star seed, I feel like you're being deliberately kind of disconnected from false connections, false, the ego sense. Because again, the ego is more physical. We're souls born in a physical body, and we're given an ego. And so sometimes that ego can keep us grounded in a certain point where we find it harder to connect. So spirit are basically asking us to, this is our connection to our higher realms, but it's also our ancestors, our star family. Because if you're a star seed, you'll have star family as well. So if you feel like you're disconnected down here, there's a star family there that is very important for you to call on as well sometimes. Bottom of the deck is trust. Okay, so we're being aligned with something here that possibly we haven't been used to being aligning. So if we're being out of our comfort zone, if we're a fish out of water, that's why. Because we're in this very watery energy right now and we're being stretched. But we're being stretched to release this ego in order to connect us to our higher divine purpose, which is essentially causing this confusion because it's something that is out of our comfort zone, but we're pulled to it. It's something we're pulled to. So trust the process. Not everything is meant to make logical sense. All right. If you feel like you need to purge and you need to give some, time, then do it. So this is how I view star seeds: is if you're drawn to looking into it, you're drawn to looking into it. What I don't like about the kind of theory with it is there's a projection of no focus here, and there's a very strong projection or focus on only that connection. That's when I feel like it's not so good. If you're balancing and it's good to have those kind of things in mind, but it's not good to only focus up there because you're living here. We've got to have a balance. And I feel like sometimes when you're in these groups, these starseed groups, that it's like they've been shot up and they're not grounded. It's not grounded. So just be aware of that. Also, when people are telling you you're Andromedan or they're telling you this, do you feel you're that? Because that's another thing. I'd just be a bit careful with that as well. And my take on it is that, I mean, I'll be real honest with you. People ask me this question all the time. I've been in every different star system. So what do I say? Yeah, Andromedan, Lyran, list all of them. No. Do you know what I mean? So just be a bit aware that guys, just wait a minute then if it's are we back? We back or no? Are we back? Back or no? You're back. The light blue, I'm not even joking. Can you see the lighting's different? The light blue, I'm not joking. I've annoyed someone there. The light literally blue. Yeah, that was an interesting one. Can you see the lighting difference? That's why. Right, we're jumping into the after the this is from the lovely Michelle. This is the Vice Versa Tarot. It's really different because you're seeing multiple aspects of the card. I know, Rebecca. I know. They're obviously not happy with the message I've just given there. So I would assume that that's not the best energy. Right, let's jump into this tarot here. What is the message, please, Spirit? I'm going to be really honest with you. This is very easy. I knew this was going to come up. Look at that. Look, the Magician's here. You can't make it up. The Magician's here. He's got his, see, this is the thing. He's got his cup, he's got his sword, he's got his wand. Is that a wand or a sword? But he's holding a candle and there's a star, a shooting star that's going behind him here with what looks like fireworks. Do you know what's really interesting about this card? Do you know what's really interesting about this card? Look at the back of the card. Look at the tree of life that is imprinted on the back of his robe. We're being maneuvered here. We're being aligned. As we speak, we're being aligned. So put it this way, for the timelines that people, if you, let's say for example, you have been getting like hints that there's an outcome that's going to shift, or the things aren't really settled, or there's a definite energy of, like I said, exactly as I said it, you wake up and the reality doesn't match what you're expecting to see. Get ready. So this is how I'm reading this card, right? Is after the rubbish energy I was reading the last time, Spirit is saying this is not what this season was meant to be used for. So I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. They're going to step in. You don't want to be like, you don't want Spirit to be stepping in on your behalf. And I feel like they're going to have to, because whatever's going on in this season right now, I feel like people are capitalizing on it on the wrong way. People are capitalizing in it in the wrong way. They're loopholing this and they're moving things to their advantage because they are not getting the hint. For example, the Scorpio energy is meant to be, you're meant to be processing that emotion and allowing these feelings come up. Scorpio can be a little bit sneaky. Scorpios can be, and please don't all the Scorpios have a go at me on a Scorpio moon, but we can, you know, sometimes if we want to be, if we're in a low vibration, it can happen. And they're saying to watch that the lines are not being blurred, and I'm totally in agreement. I'm totally in agreement. They're trying to maneuver this into a point where an outcome is, they're saying guaranteed. They're bringing in the new. I'm going to be real honest with you. This is like, so let's say, for example, you're on this current energy and there's like, say, 3 different timelines that you're conversing onto. There's something else that's being brought in. There's like a 4th option. That's just an example, but there's another option, another timeline that's being brought in that I think people aren't aware of yet. They're giving me the 15th of November. They're giving me the 15th of November. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like that, isn't that Mars when Mars goes direct? No. It's, oh my goodness, that's when the galactic center goes direct. Guys, buckle up. What you think is going to happen, no, what you think is going to happen is that this is all, no wonder, because they've just said to me vice versa. So what you think, what you're going to sit and get frustrated here, because you're going to sit here and be like, well, why aren't they seeing this? Why isn't this happening? It's not meant to. They're letting people, oh, they're sneaky. They're fooling people to see what they're going to do, right? They're fooling you to see, they're going to show you the reality isn't moving, right? And trust me on this. They're going to show you the reality is not moving and changing, which makes you make a move. And depending on what move you make is going to be the outcome after the galactic center goes direct. Now, you may ask, what's the galactic center? The galactic center is the beginning of all things in the universe. It's the processing point. It's the evolution of the universe. It's like, if you're manifesting, it comes from that. It's like every planet. I mean, look, if you were to look at the theory behind how we were created, we could have come from the galactic center. It's a processing point. It's an evolutionary point. It's a manifestation point. And we've got the magician here. Buckle up, because I'm telling you, they're observing us again. All the things that we're frustrated about, that our ego is trying to tell us that we have to have. for example, me having a go at these Pakistani gentlemen who were trying to build my website, and me having a go at the personal trainer who was just trying to do his job. Classic example, because no wonder my guides were like, no, Charlotte, no. Oi, 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 yeah. So already out of the 3 lessons or tests they've given me, I've massively failed. So just to give you guys a heads up, so you're not like me. I'm not doing very well at the moment, am I, with these tests? They said you're forgiven because at least you're becoming aware of it afterwards. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it'd be better sooner, but they said, you know, 1 step at a time. They're so freaking dry with me at the moment. They're trying to get me. They're pushing me. So, you know, to mold me into what I need to be doing, which makes sense. Now, the interesting part is the bottom of the deck. We've got the Ace of Wands too. So we've now got, you get confused from read to read. I don't know what that means. I mean, you're not meant to be reading the tarot. You're meant to be processing and using your instincts to figure out if what I'm saying is for you or not. I don't know what you're wanting me to say there. The Magician and the Ace of Wands is basically, I mean, it's the Magician with the magic wand there, isn't it? This is the Magician with the magic wand. And you know what? Look at this. We've got the sun at the front, and we've got the bird, which is that spirit guide. The sun is awakening and enlightenment and truth. And guess what's on the back? Uh-oh, it's hitting the tree. It's hitting the tree. Let me tell you something. This is about, I'm going to tell you something now, right? Let's say you are offered a job and you think it's your dream job, right? And you go into the interview and you absolutely kick butt. They offer you a second interview. And then basically you go and they give you feedback to say, sorry, the job's been offered somewhere else. And you think, sorry, because you are convinced at that point the job is for you. You have dreamt about it. The signs have been giving you the guides have been giving you signs, even not the signs have been giving you guides. I mean, you could have that as well. And you're convinced because that's how convinced you are. It was just for you. And then they turn around and the reality doesn't match your instincts. Exactly as I said it, where I felt like I woke up yesterday on Sunday when the clocks went forward. Just bear in mind what I've just said there. The clocks went forward, right? So British summertime was ending. It was that day I woke up and was like, something shifted here and I don't know what it is. It's this. Because I'm telling you, they're going to say no to these things, and then you're going to get a shift around the 16th and afterwards, and all the things that you think weren't going to happen, and I can't say all because that would be a bit silly and reckless, but there may be some things, and I can't guarantee all of you, but for some of you, that will be universally shifted because it was not meant to be ruled out. It's almost like you've gone on this timeline. And then again, course correction, because whatever the outcome wasn't meant to happen. Look, the lightning hits the tree. The lightning hits the tree. So the tree of life, it's the structure of the levels of reality, essentially. But it's also our DNA structure. It's our ancestral structure. And I'm just hearing it's been rewritten. Quintina, if you don't know what your next move should be, you can either book a personalized reading or I would meditate on it. Brittany Benson, great. So the guides were saying I'm to receive something that I've been manifesting and now it's switching up. It's a test. It's a test. If your ego is in the way, and you're determining that you should be taking something when it's not your time, then this is not going to go well. Like the website that I'm putting off because it's not the right time, and I'm not going to start pushing for that because I'm listening to my guides, you know. And there's two other examples I can give. One was the personal trainer that I was like, Jale, enough. Like, he doesn't, you're not talking the same language right now. And if you push it, then it's just not going to work. Leave it. It's the same with anything. If you feel like you're having to sell an idea to someone, the chances are that this is going to be looked into. Okay. So if you're, especially if you're manifesting things, because there's a gap between the realities at the moment that they have to bridge. So they're pulling the timeline back a little bit because people aren't ready. And the reason people aren't ready is because as a collective, we're not ready. People aren't processing anything right now. People have gone into lockdown at the beginning of the year and didn't process much. And then we were allowed out, and then they still didn't process much. So Scorpio season is meant to do that, especially with this Mars in retrograde and Mercury in retrograde. But people aren't doing it. People, especially me, I was jumping into a website. That's why it went wrong. My guides were like, well, what did you expect? And for those people who are like, wow, she's really harsh. Like, you know, can I just say my guides are brutal with me? Does that mean that I should be brutal with other people? No. But if the message is coming through that way, who am I to switch up the message? You know, it's not my job to start, you know, taking the words and abusing that and giving it to you in another way. That's not my job to do it. You know, if they give it in a certain way, there's a need for it. And as much as they bombard me sometimes, and sometimes I get annoyed with them, but I know it's for my highest good. So, this is divine protection. You know what they say, what is for you will always be for you. But if there's an on hold to this, don't try and push on holds. So if you've started, I'll give you a classic example. If you've turned around to someone and gone, all right, enough of this now, bye, that'll restart. That'll restart again once this has been processed. Because this isn't meant to be a decision making. This is meant to be a processing time, processing period. Because the Magician, you've got to remember, the Fool takes the leap first, right? And the second major arcana card is the Magician. So that once that step is taken, or that decision, then the universe is deciding, right? The next is the High Priestess, which is the keeper of the secrets. And this is a secret that I'm allowed to reveal. And if you're sort of sat there thinking, well, hang on, why are you only allowed to say that? I mean, listen, there's other readers telling you probably the same thing, because they would have similar guides to me, all the same guides. And yes, there is one reader in particular who we channel to the minute sometimes, where they're relaying the same information to her and me. Or sometimes if I go live first, I'll relay it first and then she'll go live afterwards and relay the same information. And we don't have a conversation about it. But that's when you know the guides are working, right? Because they're relaying it to as many different collectives as possible. And that's when you know this message has to go out. For the 30 viewers watching, welcome. Thank you for the 16 likes. Ace of Pentacles. This is what's on offer. This is what's on offer. Can you see it's not quite in his hand? Can you see it's not quite in his hand? Why do you think that is? He's walking towards somewhere and it looks like he's trying to catch something here. But if you look on the other side of the deck, it's like he's kind of moved out of the garden and going more towards the town. So he's moved away. He's moving towards a situation, isn't he? So it's like a journey that's coming to completion here. Because don't forget, the Ace of Pentacles is a beginning point. It's an investment. So there's something that's being invested that is not processed yet. Do we give up and say, oh, well, I'm done? Is that our ego? We just got to be careful with that. And then we've got the Seven of Wands, which is defensive. There's a divinely protected thing here, whether it's a love interest, whether it's a job, whether it's your soul mission, that is being divinely protected for a reason. So if you're not having it yet, there's a reason, and it's not to be punished, and it's not to be, you know, made to feel like you're ripping your hair out, but there is a process. There's a process to this, like the tree of life has a structure. There's a process to these things. And sometimes, again, with this lightning hitting the tree, now don't forget, it's not a tower, but you could view it as similar to a tower energy, which is moving a structure that doesn't actually have the firm foundations. This is an investment of something that is your, I feel like a birthright, because we were talking about that last time, that has been protected up till now because it wasn't ready. So if you're sat there getting really annoyed about why is it not coming, when is it coming, when is it, what, why, when, the energy really would, my suggestion would be, focus on processing or up until now. Don't worry about when it comes or if it's going to come. Look after the house. This is housekeeping time emotionally. All right, because we've done Virgo season, which was where we were going within. We've got Libra season, which was that balancing out of the partnerships, and now Scorpio season, which is that emotional processing. Because what they're saying is if you don't go to that point, and then the 6th, because you've got to remember, we've got Mercury going out of retrograde on the 3rd. Hi, Danielle. I hope you're doing well. But then we've got Prometheus going direct on the 6th. That's this. Prometheus is that spark of fire. So you've got that communication that's, I don't know why I said it that way. I feel like I'm from frickin' the East Coast or something. Communication that starts processing a little bit easier and a little bit more free flowing. Prometheus, which is that flame. Don't forget, if you look at the mythology between Zeus and Prometheus, it's about the spark that was stolen, right? So if that's going direct again, then don't forget, when that happens, people are going to get into a mindset of going, oh, this is all going to move along out of Mercury in retrograde. No, if it doesn't, I want you to just process what you can, because the 16th afterwards, when that galactic center goes forward, the galactic center is what moves things. And don't forget, we've also got Mars in retrograde, which is again also going to be blocking movement because of the here we go, my freaking shopping's already will be running. What? Okay, don't worry. I thought they were going to deliver it now, then I was about to say absolutely not. Okay, Jarley, enough. You see what I mean? That's immediately, why am I defaulting into this already? No, Jarley. See, look, these tests are everywhere. Can you see how easy that is to default into that? Because this poor delivery man, I don't want him to turn up and me to take that. That's not fair on him, you know? So just don't do a me, because I feel like I'm in that energy here. Mars in retrograde is continuing until November the 13th. So that will be the last thing to go direct, apart from Neptune on the 29th. And then, but yeah, the galactic center going direct on the 16th is going to tie all this loose end together, right? So if you're expecting things between now and the 16th, so this is why for the first part of the, now I know this, I'm going to have to record the readings. I hope I've already preempted that for the readings for this first part of the month. They're saying you have. So just bear that in mind, that the reality may not match what your expectations are. And if that's the case, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Thank you for the 21 likes and the 31 viewers, guys. I appreciate you. Wow. Okay. I'm just hearing he can't, and he comes. It's like there was an expectation. This is a love connection now. But it can also be a career matter, because we've got strong pentacle energy. But this is the King of Pentacles. Can you see that night sky is clear? Can you see the night sky is clear? Right? Look at that. You've got a lot of energy that's being moved with that Magician card here. And there's a heck, and again, that feels to me like fireworks night. So there's going to be something happening on fireworks night, right? I'm going to give you a heads up, because there's no coincidence that fireworks night is coming up. All right. So just FYI that. Just don't take the bait if there's anything happening with that. But the night sky is clear. The night sky is clear. So the pentacle that was originally being protected and that was advised, you know, to hold off, and this isn't able to be captured or held, or it's not sustainable yet, or it's not tangible, it will be. This is what's being manifested. But look, can you see how secure that is? And look, he's got the so can you see in all these other pictures that there's a gold orb here that he's got in his hand? That's transcendence. So I'm hearing, oh, bless you, fireworks night. So Guy Fawkes night. I don't know if you know the history behind Guy Fawkes. So Guy Fawkes is a popular kind of tradition in the UK, and I think in America I don't know if you have bonfireworks night. I'm not sure if you guys do it on the 5th or what date you do it, but it's when Guy Fawkes tried to burn down the Houses of Parliament in the UK. That's a real story. I'm sure that anyway, we're not going to get into that, but that's the story that was the historical reporting of a story that is mainstream and popular to hear. But we celebrate that, which is ironic, as fireworks in the sky. And I think there's actually a rhyme to it. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and something. But it talks about treason and plotting, which is even more ironic. All right. So my stomach's going weird saying that, but so there's obviously something going on there. But this feels to me like it's bringing security in. This is what I feel will be bringing security in. I'm hearing it's leveling the playing field. No worries, Rebecca. I'm hearing it's leveling the playing field. Someone was at a disadvantage in this timeline. They're leveling the playing field now. To make things fair is what I'm hearing. To make things fair. So the way I'm hearing it is, this is how I'm hearing it, is the Hunter's Moon on the 31st. There'll be little seeds planted, right? So expect to be triggered. Expect to be triggered. And that will continue until around the 16th, when these guys are going to review everything that happened, your reactions, what was offered, what was triggered, how you reacted, how you responded, and will then make a decision. It's like honestly, I'm seeing like I know it's probably not like this, but it's like a board of people that are just discussing. But it feels to me like, because it's to do with pentacles, this is earthly possessions. The more you're balanced in this stage, the easier it will be for you, is what I'm hearing. That's what they're saying. I love this deck. Just FYI, absolutely brilliant deck. The end. The end. This is the culmination. This is the world card, and it's turned the other way. But can you see? Look at the sky. Look at the sky in that picture, in the King of Pentacles card, and then look at the sky here. The end. The end. Now, the other side of the world card, you've got the what looks like an orange and a kind of blue flame. We know where that's from. But as you can see, you've got this, it looks like the Wheel of Fortunes, you know, the fixed signs. So you've got Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. So there's something here about a timing that has closed out. And again, if we're talking about the galactic center, we need to be aware that the culmination of this, you'll probably see results around the 16th. So if you're getting to the point where before you're like, but why isn't it coming? Why isn't it coming? They're testing. First of all, they're testing to see how people react. Because exactly how they've just sent me that text about my shopping, and then I've reacted going, well, what, you know, and I've misread the freaking message. If I, let's say, for example, you know, there'd have been a miscommunication, then I'd have reacted upon him, then my guides would have been like, no, let's make a note of that. It's like there's people making notes of this. I know that sounds ridiculous to say, but I mean, it's the easiest way to say it. They're trying to understand, because they're basically, it's like a review. This is essentially, you know, okay, I'll give you an example. So when people pass over, there's a bit of a life review, in my opinion, right? And obviously maybe people have other opinions, but this is how I read it. And they'll review everything, life path, soul contracts, what you did, what you didn't do. And that's so then obviously you can process what exactly needs to be learned. I believe there's going to be a review between Scorpio and Sagittarius season, which is going to be roughly around the 16th to 22nd. And I feel like the Sagittarius season and going into certainly Capricorn season, because don't forget, Sagittarius is about temperance and it is about spiritual balance. So there'll be a recalibration of the scales, because Libra is more the balance between light and dark, right? But Sagittarius is the balance, the spiritual balance, which people aren't going to account for that, because they already think, oh, I've already done this. So all these people have been sat there waiting for people's karma, and then they didn't see it, and then they got bored and started acting out. Don't do it. Because Sagittarius season is going to show exactly what people, if you've acted with compassion and you've tried to be fair, then that will be rewarded. And if you've done everything and you've been walked all over, then there'll also be an acknowledgement of that. So for those people that kind of dismiss that would be the case, don't forget what I said to you. I said October into November is going to be a very difficult month. Now, stop me if I'm wrong, but how many people feel like leading up to November is already getting harder? Because I know for me, I am, you know. Now, if you resonate with that, then it could well be you're going to resonate with this next part. All right. We've also got here the Three of Wands. So they're talking about an investment here. Three of Wands is the future energy. So again, he's waiting for his kind of ships to come in. And can you see the sky is a bit foggy, but you can just about make a moon out. So there's a lot of confusion here. But again, Spirit is saying, if you can't see it, because don't forget what we saw at the beginning about magnetism and fog. If you can't see it, does it mean it doesn't exist? You know, you've got that kind of, you know, if a tree falls in the forest, does it mean it didn't? If no one heard it, does it mean it fell? It's the same thing. So we've got to be on guard here of expectations versus reality. Because if you can look, can you just about make out, it looks like that is a sun. But because of the kind of fog almost, maybe the dust has blown up for it be harder to see. He's waiting for something, but he can't quite see it because the atmosphere is shifting the same. So just be aware that if the atmosphere or the energy is changing, does it mean it's not going to come? Or is it to try and lull you? Because don't forget what I've been saying is you've got to use this. No good using these. Right? But as you can see behind him, he's got that lush forest. And as you can see, he's got, look at that flame, the orange and the blue flame. How many times have we channeled that into one? This is a yin and yang balance. So again, with what did I say about spiritual balance? And this is about divine counterparts. They're just saying, Kasana, you need to watch it from the beginning, girl. That's my suggestion. Can you see as well his staff that he's holding? So again, we've got the two staffs here, which was indecision, and then one of them, which is the Ace of Wands, is lit up. The rightful path. The rightful path. Because don't forget, this is the same energy. This is the same energy. This is the same energy. Again, he got this is Prometheus, is fire, magician, lighting the way, but something being held back until it was ready. All right. They're just saying it's time. This is time. Well, I mean, you flipped a card over there, but these are all... That's brilliant, but I don't know which card flipped in the deck, and they're all vice versa. Do you see now why I use this deck? Do you understand now why I use the vice versa deck? Because it's going to allow you to see certain things, and it's going to swap that around and make you believe something different. It's full of illusions. And this is the thing, we haven't even got... You wait until Neptune goes direct. You wait. I know, I shouldn't really laugh at that, but 29th of November. Neptune goes direct on the 29th of November. I don't know why I'm laughing, because I don't know. I'm going to be in exactly the same position as you all. So, here we go. We've got people working on themselves, working on work, working on a partnership, working on understanding, working on healing, work. 8 of Pentacles. We've also got someone observing the worker. Can you see that? Yeah, Kasana, they're awesome, aren't they? Thank you to Michelle for these cards. They're awesome. So can you see we've got an observer here to his work? What did I say about someone observing what is going on and what your actions are and how things are proceeding? This is spirit that's observing what kind of work you're involved with here. You know, and as you can see, you know, he's inside working hard. You've got a nice day out there, and you've got someone observing his efforts. They're saying work as if no one's watching you, because if you're doing efforts just for the sake of getting through this loophole, then that's not the idea of it. But can you see the other side? He's working hard to build what looks like this. It looks like a tree. It looks like a tree trunk. It looks like a tree trunk. He's rebuilding the tree. He's rebuilding the tree, right? And spirit are observing the efforts. This is the timeline shift. This is the timeline shift. This is the King of Pentacles. So it's a benefit of what efforts were made and what you're reaping, what you're sowing. So don't forget, this is what I'm going to say to you. The Hunter's moon should have been next month. But there's 2 moons in 1 month. There's the corn harvest moon, which was at the beginning of this month. And then on the 31st, there will be a blue moon, which means there's more than 1 moon in a month. But it's the Hunter moon. So already people are going to be expecting things. It should have been next month. So do you see what I mean now about putting things on hold? And then they're building that kind of illusionary energy to see how you're going to act. You're gonna have to try and find peace within. Coming from someone that is in a house with similar energy, your best bet with that is finding peace within. And I mean becoming an expert at finding peace within, because listen, if you knew what lockdown was like for me, I had drilling. I literally, every noise that you could ever think of in one house was a continuation from morning, noon and night, to the point where I ended up buying earplugs, and then I slept through an alarm, and I promised myself I'd never do that again, but it was absolute nightmare. So I literally ended up, I used to meditate for like 2 hours a day, and I'm not exaggerating. I would wake up and I would sit for hours, sometimes even more, just to meditate, because I was like, I can't face this. This is awful. You know? So when you're sat recording videos, lovely to have all this interaction, but when it's totally overwhelming, your senses are overwhelmed, and then you've got people who are very unable to process it, who aren't, you know, cleansing, it's hard. Yeah, you have to let go. If you hold on with this and start expecting, you're between now, don't forget, if this is between now and the 16th, people are already expecting things to be moving real quick, right? Because of what this year's been like. But you're good, don't fall into that category of, and you've got to remember, I deal with clients morning, noon, and night, and I even have clients in Africa. Okay, so every continent is looked after with my client list. And can I just assure you that there is this overwhelming need for people to be like, but I'm just going to go and branch into this area and I'm going to have a look into that area. And I'm like, it's false. You're running from something. Pull the energy back. Because again, you're not seeing something here. So don't fall into this. Be careful. Surrender. You have to. But it's not about waiting either. It's not you. If you fall into the category of I'm waiting, then no. We don't wait. We move forward. We never wait. That's not the plan. If you're in a waiting process with something, you need to not be waiting. So if it's a love interest, focus on your life. Focus on your life. Don't wait. Because you're going to get to the point where, don't forget, this is being observed here. Because what will they'll do? I'm going to tell you now how they work. They'll get to that end point and be like, oh, you were waiting the whole time. Let me let you wait a bit more then. They're saying yes. There you go. So like I say, if you're doing that, then you need to think of another strategy here because it's not going to work. And don't forget that, again, I don't want to sound like these guys are creepy because they're not. But it's like if you do an exam and you cheat on the test, it's the same thing. Is that you understanding what was needing to be understood? No, it's a kind of false win. It's not a real, and it's ego. So again, spirit of observing. All right, spirit of observing here. Just to try and be aware. But there's choices around love. We've got the Lovers and the Two of Cups. So you've got Lovers. Can you see someone's wearing a mask in that Lovers picture there? That's interesting. Someone's wearing they're both wearing masks. And Spirit is like, can we not? Can you see on his side, the tree is also on fire, just FYI. And this is very Adam and Eve to me. This is very Garden of Eden. And can I just say, if you're following the texts of that theory, Lilith was the first female, and Lilith said to Adam, Lilith is Scorpio energy. Lilith is very Scorpio energy. Can you see here that someone is sacrificing something here? It's like the masculines. Can you see there's a snake as well? But the masks are being worn still, with the male's tree. If you're looking at the theory, Adam's tree burning to the floor. That kind of, I mean, look, this is a rewriting of humanity. If we're going on these cards with the Tree of Life and add these kind of deep references, this is huge. Like this is there's a major shift happening on the 6th, around the 16th. Big style. Can you see as well behind him is what have we been talking about for how long, that is currently banned on discussed in every social media platform. This guy, and I'm not talking about the gentleman that's standing at the front, which I don't know why, but I feel like is Gabrielle. I don't know why I want to say that. No, they're saying Sandalphon. I want to say that's Sandalphon, which obviously he's at the foot of the Tree of Life, but he's also in charge of the crystalline grid. And obviously we're kind of transmuting our carbon based into a crystalline energy. So our DNA is totally, so the shifts that we're seeing externally, there's an internal change as well. Union. And as you can see, you've got the orange and the blue again with the star, destined. Can you see the hand touching? How many times have we been mentioning it? I think it's something could do. I think it might have an E in it, but again, I know what you're saying though, Rebecca. Do you know what's really interesting? Look at the fact that it's at night time with the star in the sky. Why am I feeling Aquarius vibes with this? There's something about the timing with this. I'm trying to work out what they're showing me here. I'm hearing that song, Little Donkey. This is Christmas. Star of Bethlehem. That's what I'm getting Christmas vibes with this. I'm getting Christmas vibes because I'm just getting, I heard a song in my head for about 20 minutes and I was so busy looking at the card, I didn't process what the song was in my head. This is like this is the Christmas story almost. It's like we've got an eclipse as well on the 21st of December. Watch out for that. Right, let's get a sort of final insight here. Wait. Seven of Pentacles. Wait. Wait. Seven of Pentacles. Wait. He's looking at that thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen. Just give up. Can I just say as well, the amount of people that I've read for recently who have got angry with me when I've told them this. And they get really frustrated. But what do you mean wait? Why, I've already waited. Why should I wait more? And I'm like, you don't have to. You don't have to wait. But it's in your best interest to wait. Right, let's so just release, do what you need to do, process what you need to process, give yourself some time to let this all catch up with you, and don't again release expectations. That's going to be your best friend, I think. Right, final messages please before we leave this. Here we go. Beloved one, this is the Archangel Chamuel, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Well, that's a surprise, isn't it, eh? You never would have guessed that that was the message that was going to come through there. This is what they're doing. They're moving things, reordering them because things aren't quite right. There's an order to this that has to be honored. Bottom of the deck, divine order. Look at the weighing scales. What did I say about Libra season being the weighing scales and then Sagittarius season being the spiritual balancing? Archangel Raguel, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. Okay, guys, this was your reading for today. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. I'm going to come back on Wednesday. I'm going to try and keep doing these lives, although especially through this month, I feel like I have to do them because I did have a quick look to see what I was going to do about that, and I'm going to review it in December when the energy calms down a little bit. But I feel like if I was to stop these lives now, I'm going to get annoyed with myself, so I'm going to honor that, my promise. Even if look, I'll be honest with you, I did have to cancel a client because of it, but I mean, look, if it happens, it happens. So guys, stick together, try and find people that are, you know, like-minded, that have got your back. Try not investing in anything lower vibrational. Try and see past these things and give yourself some patience. For all those that are having sessions with me between now and Wednesday, awesome. I'll see you then. Until next time, take care. Bye.